Hey there, I'm Tony DeCopo. This is The Uplift. We got a great show for you, a great cast of characters as well. Among them, these, a 6-year-old who saved a Harvard professor's research. How did she do that? That's kind of surprising. We'll tell you. Also, a retiree who may have left his career but didn't stop working. How he overcame the odds to start a new job. Also, a high school football player who faced broken bones and a life-changing diagnosis. Never gave up on the game, however. And a Guinness World Record holder. A lot of them, in fact. We're going to take a look at the amazing and sometimes wacky things that people do to get into the history books. Also, David Begnaud introduces us to a 25-year-old who started a company as a teenager with a simple goal. Highlight what makes tiny towns so terrific. They are small, but they are mighty. All that and more heartwarming news. You know what you're watching. The Uplift. Hey there, welcome to The Uplift. I'm Tony DeCopo, your host for the next 30 minutes. You're going to get lifted, as we say around here. We're going to begin with this, a Harvard professor who lost crucial research funding, then got a big donation from a 6-year-old. Here's Steve Hartman.
Why do you think that would matter for humans?
Professor Jessica Whited leads a team of researchers at Harvard University, all studying the axolotl, that salamander with a superpower to regrow body parts.
And we want to find out the secrets, like the actual molecular secrets of how they regenerate limbs.
So that people could regrow limbs?
That is the hope someday. Yep.
A hope that faded a few months ago when her team lost almost all its government funding. It was dark times until the day a donor stepped forward.
It definitely had a positive effect on everyone in the lab. Everybody was just flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted not by the size of the donation, but rather the size of the donor. 6-year-old Mary Ann Cullen of Springfield, Massachusetts, is obsessed with axolotls.
There's more to them than just being cute. They can grow back any limb.
And, she says, they're endangered.
And there's way other animals that need saving, but this one is my destiny to save.
Parents Kat and Rob Cullen.
And I think she took it kind of to the next level, honestly.
She said, I want to raise money for axolotls.
So, to support conservation and research, Mary Ann built a PowerPoint and held a fundraiser, made $1,000 for the lab.
But why is all this your responsibility?
Not a lot of people get how important it is to save this animal.
And therefore, you have to take the lead.
I feel like I do.
Hi, Marianne.
The courts have since reinstated the lab's funding. No telling if that will stand.
I'm going to show you my office.
But regardless, Professor Whited says Mary Ann's contribution will always
Aren't they cute?
keep her going.
Sometimes you know who's fighting for you in life, and sometimes you don't. And that's always the time when you're just like, pause and be like, wow. So there's a bone in here, right?
And certainly, in the world of axolotl research, that kind of encouragement is worth an arm and another arm.
Eventually it goes back and gets the whole thing.
Steve Hartman, on the road in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
We introduce you now to a couple from Fairview, North Carolina, who lost everything in Hurricane Helene last year, including their cat, or they thought they did. Here's Dave Malkoff with their story.
There's where our house used to be.
From next door, Jackie and Stuart Pacio watched last September as floodwaters from Hurricane Helene filled their home outside Asheville, North Carolina.
We both really were saying our goodbyes.
To each other?
Yeah.
They survived, but lost everything, including their 7-year-old cat, Bootsy.
We were out here at least 300 days out of 400, doing all kinds of stuff, and never saw hide nor hair of her.
Then, suddenly, after a year, a sound.
We heard a wow, and
I said, that sounds like Bootsy.
yeah.
I couldn't stop crying, and my husband said, you better quit, you're gonna scare her away. Come on, kitty.
Bootsy was originally a stray, so she knew how to survive on her own.
That's a good girl.
But how did she find her way home?
I'm thinking now maybe she got trapped on the other side of the creek, and they just got this bridge finished a couple of weeks ago.
In this corner of western North Carolina that's been desperate for some good news, a cat's return is the perfect ending.
Her coming back is really, we feel like it's a sign of hope, I guess.
It's a good sign of hope.
Maybe things are gonna turn around for us.
Dave Malkoff, CBS News, Fairview, North Carolina.
Coming up, a look at people who became officially amazing by stacking dice with their foot, tapping out the alphabet with their nose, tappity tap, and doing more than 2 miles of lunges. That's hard. All those things got them into the Guinness Book of World Records. That's all it took. Stay with us. We travel now to Bethesda, Maryland, where Scott McFarland spoke to a retiree who found a new calling whenever someone dials 911.
25 years ago, Ed Levian retired from a high-stress career.
I don't see myself as being old. I'm older, but I just don't think I'm old.
In 2013, despite battling emphysema and chronic pain, he saw the sign about what to do next. This sign, calling for volunteer EMTs at the rescue squad in Bethesda, Maryland.
I called up. I said, I'm probably too old. And they said, if you could pass the physical, we'd love to have you. Who knew?
Against all odds, he passed, and at age 64, likely became one of America's oldest, newest emergency medical technicians.
Your career was not in medicine.
Oh, no, I was in advertising.
Levian racked up more than 13,000 hours of work, making countless slides down the fireman's pole. Captain Gregory Mitchell.
He's a smart guy. He's a caring guy. It really doesn't take a lot much more than that. And I don't think anyone doubted that he'd be able to do it.
How long should a rapid trauma assessment take?
Now 76, Levian is no longer going out on calls. Instead, he's training the next generation.
You can retire from your career. That's okay. Retire from life, then it's over.
The job was hard. Retiring can be even harder. Scott McFarland, CBS News, Bethesda, Maryland.
For 70 years, Guinness World Records has been telling people you are officially amazing. Nancy Chan takes a look at how Guinness became the authority on record breaking.
You're officially amazing.
You are officially amazing.
You are officially amazing.
These are the words people hear when they achieve a Guinness World Records title.
I'm my highest self when I'm going for lunges.
Something trainer Austin Head has heard himself.
What does it mean to say you are a Guinness World Record holder ×2?
To have a world record in itself is so amazing. Never did I think I would have 2 world records, so it almost gives me like belief in myself.
In 2024, Head earned the title and a spot in the Guinness World Records book for most lunges in an hour. But he also set the record for the farthest distance traveled by lunge in 1 hour while training for his attempt.
What was that moment like when you opened the book and you saw your name in there?
I was like, this is amazing. So I'm on page 6, but like right when you get through it. Right above me is Michael Imprick, the famous judge, and then Dolly Parton. So me and Dolly are best friends.
Wow. Yeah. You are in the history books with Dolly Parton.
With Dolly Parton.
It started 70 years ago as a book of facts to settle arguments in pubs in the United Kingdom. Now it's turned into an international phenomenon. Guinness World Records has sold more than 155 million books in over 40 languages. There are more than 68,000 active record titles. Records range from as simple as the tallest teenager in the world to more zany ones. The most light aircraft pulled by walking on hands. Fastest time to type the alphabet with the nose. And most dice stacked with 1 foot in 1 minute. Editor-in-Chief Craig Glenday and 81 adjudicators around the world review and verify every record.
We're here today for an official Guinness World Records attempt for the longest indoor multi-level go-kart track. Now,
Andy Glass is one of 10 in North America. We were there on Long Island in New York when he judged this indoor go-kart racing attempt.
So for this record title, there were a few things that I was looking for. We had to have a measurement professional measure the track, and I have certified that their measurement is valid, and I've confirmed a total measurement of 1,071.6 meters, which is now set the new Guinness World Records title.
Glass has been judging records for 9 years.
Every single time that I tell someone they're officially amazing, it just melts my heart. I mean, the amount of dedication and work that goes into achieving any type of Guinness World Records, whether it's an athletic feat, whether it's an engineering feat, anything it's a lot of work. It's amazing.
It's a fascination with the limits of human capacity.
New York Times bestselling author and journalist Larry Olmsted has written about getting into Guinness. Olmsted says there are 3 main ways to break into the record books.
Mass participation records, which is the most people doing something at one time. There's creating a new record, and then the most classic way, which is taking an existing record and breaking it, which is typically the most difficult.
And if you're thinking about giving it a shot, here's some advice.
You should view it through the prism of fun. If you want to go set a record, do your research, read all the rules, but don't take it too seriously.
And once you set it, you're officially amazing.
Coming up, Michelle Miller meets a man she first met 6 years ago when he was just a teen with a dream of flying. Where did they reconnect? In the sky, of course. Plus, the college senior balancing school and football, and then was thrown another challenge. See how a life-changing diagnosis didn't get him down.
He's the toughest man I've ever known.
It sounds so cliche to say, but I'm Jack Curtis's mom. I'm so proud to say that.
You are the best football player I've ever had the pleasure of playing with.
We first met high school senior Davion Lee in 2019, chasing his dream.
Man, that's a perfectly coordinated turn.
His instructor, Jerome Stanislaus, was determined to show him and others the sky is for everyone.
I actually never saw a pilot that looked like myself.
Just 4% of commercial pilots are black, so Jerome made it his mission to encourage a career and prove they too belong in the captain's seat.
Why do you do it?
And I really want to be able to make a difference.
Now, 6 years later,
What's up, big dog?
we caught up with Jerome and Davion at the Cradle of Aviation Museum in New York.
The last time I was with you, we were like, half a mile in the air?
Yeah, that was my first time behind the controls of an airplane. Things just snowballed from there.
After our story first aired, a viewer reached out and mentored him through flight school. And now,
I'm gonna start my job as a first officer with United Airlines. I don't think it's really hit me yet, but yeah.
An achievement he credits in large part to Jerome.
It's very, very important to see somebody where you want to be.
Jerome, too, is celebrating. Recently awarded an honorary doctorate in aviation leadership.
He's always been phenomenal.
You were the first person he went up with.
Yeah, I got goosebumps thinking about that right now. I always had the thought process of I'm going to be the person for other people that I wish that I had in my own life.
Mission accomplished. Michelle Miller, CBS News, New York.
For a college athlete, balancing schoolwork and sports can be stressful in normal circumstances. But football player Jack Curtis added broken bones and a life-changing diagnosis. Omar Villafranca shows us how Curtis stayed in the game despite it all.
How we doing, Hopper? Jack Curtis played his final college football game on Saturday while battling broken bones in his throwing hand and a life-changing diagnosis. Let's go, boys.
The way they broke it to me was just straight up late stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma.
This summer, doctors found a mango-sized tumor under his arm and 2 smaller ones near his heart. Instead of dreaming of game days, he was worried about tomorrow.
I wrote some letters saying goodbye to people because, I thought with how much bumps I had, my mind went there. I didn't know if I was going to beat it.
During treatment, he set a new goal. Chemo sessions on Mondays so he'd have enough energy to play with his team on Saturdays. Touchdown!
The reason I came back fighting through cancer or whatnot, it wasn't because I was chasing wins or chasing XYZ. It was because 20 of my best friends were going to graduate and I wasn't going to be able to play with them.
In their final game, Curtis re-injured his already broken throwing hand, leaving him crumpled on the field. Now he had a new goal, to just finish the game. Scott Curtis is his father.
He is the toughest man I've ever known.
The Knights lost on the final play of the game. Afterwards, his parents joined him on the field.
It sounds so cliche to say, but like, I'm Jack Curtis's mom. You know, like I'm so proud to say that.
You are just the best football player I've ever had the pleasure of playing with.
Curtis and his team shared one final moment together on the field and created one more memory. In Northfield, Minnesota, Omar Villafranca, CBS News.
Coming up, we introduce you to a man who is a big name in small towns. See how this 25-year-old is working to show us what makes each tiny town terrific.
It's a lot of nostalgia for people. I can take a small town, any small town in the Midwest, and I was able to put every single one of them in the spotlight, and then I immortalize it in a book where people 100 years from now can go back and be like, this is what my grandparents' town looks like. I feel like I'm doing something important.
We end in the Midwest, where David Begnaud met a 25-year-old who can't accept the idea of a flyover state because no matter how rural the place or small the population, each town has something wonderful to celebrate.
Hey, thanks for taking a little time to meet us. We appreciate it.
Y'all meet Seth Varner. He's a big name in small towns.
And people are like, you look like you're still in college, like you're the historian. That's nice. The welcome sign's gonna be right there.
This 25-year-old from Nebraska finds beauty in the places a lot of us often overlook.
Once you're at the end of Main Street here, we're gonna work back over to like the library.
He roams the Midwest for his publishing company, Wandermore, which he started back in 2020 during the pandemic, having just graduated from high school. He documents landmarks, things to do, places to eat, and then he posts his finding on Wandermore's Facebook pages and goes on to sell his self-published travel guides. And let me just tell you, if you ever run into him, don't mention flyover states.
Oh man, flyover state kind of irks me a little bit. Doesn't matter if it's 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people. Every town's got a story to share.
Our first stop with Seth?
Blue Earth, Minnesota, and it's the home of the Jolly Green Giant.
It's the town's 55-foot-tall, 8,000-pound tribute to Minnesota's homegrown canned vegetable company. The statue's museum doubles as the town's chamber of commerce.
A lot of us don't have a huge advertising budget to get the word out. And so when Seth offered to highlight what we have here, I was thrilled.
His next stop was a firehouse in Frost, Minnesota, just 15 minutes away.
The population sign says 198, but we had 2 births here in the last couple weeks, so our population now has crested to 200. We're pretty excited about it. Just can't beat the small town living. Everybody can stop and talk to anybody at any random time, and if you need a favor or need help with something, everybody will step up.
Now this all evolved from an idea that Seth had back in elementary school.
And I'm like, well, I want to go to every town in Nebraska. Like, Dad, we should go check them all out. And he's like, oh, haha, yeah, maybe someday, Seth.
Someday came when Seth was home from college during the pandemic, and he just happened to find his 3rd grade scrapbook.
I was flipping through it. I'm like, I can fulfill that dream I had as a 10-year-old. So I recruited one of my best friends, and I told him, hey, we're going to go to every town in the state. Are you in?
Well, that could only mean one thing. Road trip, y'all.
I've been to every incorporated town in Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota, Kansas, North Dakota, and soon to be Minnesota. And the corresponding town numbers for those: 531 for Nebraska, 939 for Iowa, 310 for South Dakota, 627 for Kansas, 355 in North Dakota, and Minnesota will be 856.
Over the last 5 years, hundreds of thousands of people have followed Seth online as he's highlighted the historic, the quirky, and the downright unique.
Well, there's a town in Nebraska only has one person, and it's this 90-year-old lady. Her name is Elsie, and she's the mayor, she's the bartender, she's the librarian, she's even an honorary sheriff with the local county. We decided to go to every town in Iowa.
Each state that Seth has visited has had its own book under the Wandermore umbrella, and sales from every one of the books funds his next adventure.
Oh, that's so cool.
These days, he's traveling with Elise, his wife. She says it took seeing Seth in action to convince her that he was serious about this whole visit every town thing.
I was like, he's lying. I was just kind of in like awe maybe, because it is really truly like a lot of work. I could not be more proud of him as his wife and the person who's kind of with him all the time. People really have no idea.
He's meant a lot to these little communities. Just listen to him on the radio in Blue Earth, Minnesota with Taylor DeVary at KBEW Radio.
What made you decide from starting in Nebraska to then doing all the other states in the Midwest?
So because Nebraska was so successful, I was like, all right, like I wonder if Iowa would have the same reaction.
It's boosting the small businesses.
It means so much to the people here.
I wish I would have thought of something like this when I was your age.
It's a lot of nostalgia for people. I can take a small town, any small town in the Midwest, and I was able to put every single one of them in the spotlight, and then I immortalize it in a book where people 100 years from now can go back and be like, this is what my grandparents' town looked like. I feel like I'm doing something important.
You know, my friends, at the end of the day, maybe the biggest gift Seth gives all of us is a reminder that in a one-stoplight town, you still matter.
That is our show. I hope it brightened your day. I hope it lifted you up. If for some reason it didn't, go ahead and press play again because those reruns, totally free. I'm going to go find some good news. See you next time.